Hi guys, it's Joseph here and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be talking you guys through the Game Week 3 buy, hold, sell and void. I'll be giving you guys some players that you should be considering buying and consider keeping on to and holding on to, and players you should be selling and players you should be avoiding as they are not that good of an option as they seem to be. So a lot to talk about. Let's jump right into it. So the first player is Kyle Walker. Now, at 5 mil, you get a player who's guaranteed to start till Champions League football starts, which usually it's around game week 7 to 8. It's the 3rd of September, which it kicks off. So it's during the game week 7 and 8, and that is where ideally I plan to claim my wildcard, and probably most of you plan to play your wildcard because there is you could say the third wildcard during the game week 16 to 17 period. So we won't want to hold our wildcard too late on and too early on, as we won't get the full value of the wildcard. So the fixtures look great until then. They play Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Spurs and Wolves. Now I see as probably 3 to 4 clean sheets, and at the start of the season I said for Man City, they, in my opinion, they are still the best defense in the league, and I see them getting 4 to 5 clean sheets in the first 8 game weeks, and they already kept 2, which is so good, and they could possibly keep a lot more. Now Nottingham Forest, there is one possible clean sheet, and there's a lot of weaker attacks. Crystal Palace, they are not that good of attack. So now I decided to include the heat map for Kyle Walker is because last season he didn't play the same role as he's playing this season. This season he's playing the inverted fullback role, which technically means a midfielder, a center midfielder. So it's Cancelo, him and Rodri who stays in the middle of the pitch and forms a tree in front of the 2 center backs, and that essentially means that he will be more advanced than last season. He will, make those passes, and looking at the heat map, he's quite advanced for a defender. And usually we see fullbacks being advanced out wide, but he's being advanced in the middle, and that's good because he's taking more of his touches, more passes in the middle, which is closer to the goal, and he can make those passes through balls, and we've seen it during the Bournemouth game. He made a pass to Ilkay Gundogan. Gundogan laid it off to Haaland. Haaland passed it back to Gundogan, and Gundogan scored the goal. So if on another situation, means he will be making those passes. Now his stats isn't the greatest. Of course, his expected assists and expected goals aren't that great because he's not taking that many shots. But when you have players like Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, Haaland, Mahrez, Foden, Grealish up front, a player like Gundogan or De Bruyne can, if Walker makes that pass and they shoot outside the box, they will get the odd goal, and Walker can get the clean sheet and assist. So I think he is really nailed on for the clean sheet. You are just expecting 6 points for him, no bonus points because he's not that advanced of a fullback, and he's not going to be that involved as a Cancelo, but he will get you those clean sheet points. And for 1 mil cheaper than Diaz, who's a player that is playing more advanced than Diaz, I just see why not you should go for Kyle Walker. Next buy is Ivan Toney. Now it fully depends on your team. Again, if you are playing a 3 up front formation, and take note that I am recording this video before the Liverpool Crystal Palace game, and we don't know the situation with Darwin Núñez. Maybe if you don't really like Darwin Núñez and you want to get rid of him, you could downgrade to Ivan Toney, but it fully depends on your team structure. Again, for me, I have a 2-striker formation, and for me to get a 3rd striker will force me to destroy my team elsewhere, to downgrade players elsewhere, and it will take a lot of transfers to do so. But if you have an easy route to get a 3rd striker, or if you're playing 1-striker formation and you want to get a 2nd striker and it's easy for you to do so, you should go for Ivan Toney. Now there is another forward option that I think everyone must have before you get Ivan Toney, and that is Gabriel Jesus. But let's say you have 1 transfer and you don't want to take a hit and you just can't afford Jesus, you could go for Ivan Toney. But not only that, Ivan Toney, he's a great player. Looking at those stats, shots in the box per 90, 1.5. So he's taking around 1.52 shots in the box, and his expected points per 90 is 6.09, expected goals per 90 0.39, expected assists 0.52, and his touches in the box per 90 is 4.5. So he's taking quite a lot of touches and shots in the box for a forward, and he's more likely to get you the assist. But just take note that he did get a lot of assists in the United game, and he scored quite a few points in that game. So he's more likely to get you the assist than goal, but of course he's an elite finisher last season. We've seen it before. And we talked about Eriksen leaving Brentford last year and how it could impact the Brentford attack, but I don't see that happening now. We saw it. Brentford put 4 past United, and you could say United are a weak team, but look, it isn't easy to put at least 4 goals past United in the first half. That is just world class, and we've seen it before. Brentford are a quality team, and I feel like they are not gonna go down or fight for Europe, but they're gonna be a mid-table side. And the season syndromes, I don't believe in that. So looking at those fixtures, great fixtures: Fulham away, Everton at home, Crystal Palace away, and Leeds at home. It's brilliant fixtures and a fixture run you could target. The fixtures go up to around the game week 8 to 9 mark, where they have good fixtures until. So Brentford, definitely a team to target. Not only Tony, you could target their defense. You have players like Ben Mee, Henry, but of course we're going to talk about players and Ivan Toney, a great differential as well, but you're not only bringing him in as a differential, because you're bringing him in as players that you think will score most points. And for me, during that fixture run, I think he will score a lot of goals and assists and give you those points. Next, let's jump on to Holtz. Now, the Spurs and Chelsea game just finished, and Spurs did draw that game. Now, Harry Kane did get a last minute goal, and to be fair, you could say it was lucky, but of course, Spurs, they wasn't the best team. They made fouls, they made silly challenges, and I didn't watch the game, but I caught the highlights. And Harry Kane, it was confusing because some people thought it was Richarlison who got the goal, but Harry Kane got a hit on it. So now when we are entering that run of great fixtures, you have Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Fulham, and Man City, Leicester. Now, again, last week we were talking about selling Harry Kane. This week we are talking about holding on to, because last week some people, they didn't catch the price change and couldn't go to someone like Erling Haaland. So now, of course, if you have Erling Haaland, I'm not telling you guys to go and buy Harry Kane, but if you are having Harry Kane in your team and you're worried about Erling Haaland, I just think he could be a good hold, because that fixture run, and when Champions League football kicks in, which is not till game week 7 or 8, Erling Haaland will be rotated, and we've seen it in the last few games. He got 73 minutes against Bournemouth and got 77 minutes against West Ham. So his minutes are definitely limited with the 5-sub rule, and Harry Kane, you could say a 90-minute man. And in the Spurs-Chelsea game, Perisic did come on for Heung-min Son. So Heung-min Son did get taken off, and when Richarlison came on, Harry Kane still was on the pitch. So look, you could say Harry Kane is more near on than Heung-min Son, and for 11.4 mil, I just see why not. His stats are elite, great stats, and I think Harry Kane is one to consider, to hold on to. Not sell, not buy, but definitely keep him. Next, we do have Leon Bailly. Now, Bailly, it's the time to let him go, and it's really when you want to let him go. You could sell him this week, game week 3, game week 4, but definitely around game week 3 and 4. Look, Crystal Palace are a very, very solid defense. West Ham, you could say they are quite a solid defense. Remember, they got Europe last season, and you just can't write them off. So another solid defense, and then they go into a tough run playing teams like Arsenal and Man City. So he's gonna drop in price definitely, but you could consider to keep him for another game week or so, like how I am gonna consider, because you look at your team and you think there is other changes, other positions to be changed, as they are the weaker points. And Leon Bailly, you could not sell him and keep him on your bench, but to be fair, you could get that 0.5 and upgrade your team elsewhere. So Leon Bailly, a sell, is just when you're going to sell him. For me, I plan to keep him because I feel like there's other improvement to be made around my team. So I'm going to keep him for this game week, but definitely look to sell him in the upcoming game weeks. Next, we do have Kevin De Bruyne, and for me, he's an avoid. Look, we have this type of player that scores massively, like a Shah, and many people bring him in. But for me, Kevin De Bruyne, he's a premium. He's 12 mil. He just got massive in game week 2, but that doesn't mean he's gonna score that amount of points every week. His stats are elite, brilliant stats, but for 12 mil, you could get Haaland for 0.3 less, and you could get a lot of players for cheaper than him that's about the same stats. So I just don't see people going for him, because you have to break your team. You have to at least go 2 to 3 transfers to bring him in. And if you don't have an 8 mil midfielder, or if you're not going to consider selling your 8 mil midfielder, you could just look to make 3 to 4 transfers to bring him in, and that's a -4 or -8 hit. That's a lot of points to be taken off you, and I just don't see people breaking their teams to get Kevin De Bruyne. But if you have him, you could consider holding on to him. But for me, definitely avoid, and just nowhere to go near him. And lastly, Alexander Mitrovic, another avoid, and they do have some quite tough fixtures. Now, looking at the fixture run, they have Brentford, Arsenal, Brighton, and Tottenham. They do go into the brilliant fixture run during game week 8 and to game week 14, but for now, I just see him as a avoid. Brighton, a solid defense. Brentford, you could say a solid defense as well. Now, maybe when we look to go for him, is around that game week 8 and starting around game week 8. But for now, I will just say avoid Mitrovic. 6.6, he offers brilliant value, but just wait for the brilliant fixtures. So guys, that wraps up for another video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I helped you with some of your transfer plans, and I will be making a lot more videos, more content this week, so stay tuned for that. And it's been me, JSFPL, and I'll see you guys in the next one.